Hey, I didn't make any sound. That's probably why. What we have is a bit of an enigma. I'm not sure what to do about that. Are we sideways? That's where we're at. Is this sideways? It's a bit strange. Can someone please tell me if they're picking up sound or whether it's sideways? It is sideways. I'm going to try and fix this sideways thing. It's a bit weird. Um, Actually, where we're at is it's a lot weird. So this is a YouTube problem. Yes, that's better, but I'm not sure if this works. Is that working? Are we getting through? Are you actually getting video? Peter, g'day. Stuart, hello. Mark Osborne, hello. Dan Shed, good evening. Paul Schaus, g'day. Mark Shed Talk, hello. If you're getting me, you're getting me. But it says in the big, it's dropped the colour off the screen and it says orientation is locked, rotate device back. John Creasy, hello. If, however, I rotate the device back, I end up with it sideways. It's a bit strange. Anyway, here we go. We're going to live with this. Anyway, hey guys, what's you guys done for the week? Have you achieved anything? Me either. Done nothing this week, feels like. Actually, you want to hear about my crazy week? Hey Kevin. Last week I did a really bad live stream, and this is becoming a habit, and I'm sorry about that. Last week I did a really bad live stream on my way to, there we go, there's some light. Ordering some brass is a good thing. On my way to Shannondale in the middle of the night, sort of. Anyway, got there. Everything went reasonably well, I think. I think everything went fairly smoothly. We packed about 1,000 things that we didn't need, like 2 ton of stuff that we probably could live without. We've got most of the stuff sorted out and in numerous vehicles. Friday morning, we moved the roller out to the road and loaded it on a low loader. I got no video, no photos, no nothing. And I apologize for that because it was a crazy busy week. And then, Friday afternoon, there was an event called Picnic in the Paddock or something at Glenray, which was like a paid event, and Dan had his portable running the lights there, which was quite good fun. And we ended up getting a meal out of them, which was really good. It was a good meal. Saturday was Glenray Timberfest. We spent a crazy day, running up and down through the caravan park and around doing laps and whistle offs and talking to people. I'm still not sure I got any video or pictures. I've got a drone video, which I've got to upload, and I still haven't looked at my GoPro to see what Dan got, but there could be something. So we got all that sorted. Then Sunday we moved everything back, put it all away, and Sunday and Monday we did things like drain rollers and polish brass and wash paint and put things away and clean up, and then we did a bit of a scrap metal tidy up at Dan's, which is long overdue. And Monday afternoon I come home, and Tuesday I did nothing. So that was my weekend. There you go. I'm going to have a look at it. I might voice over on my I might stick it as a voiceover on my drone footage. We'll see what happens there. I haven't looked at it. Honestly, haven't looked at it. Sorry, guys. So I've got a video to upload, I think, whether it's just drone footage or whether it's Dan rambling over the top of it. I don't know. Got that sorted. Hasn't happened yet. So it was a fairly full-on sort of a weekend, and you sort of had to be there, I guess. What have I missed? Christian got a flat tyre. I don't know why or how. Picked up a mural project to do, which is pretty exciting. That's another thing. More about that soon. What else to do? Replaced 3 screws. In the amp meter on the 32-volt generator. That's why this box of screws is out. It's also out because I had every intention of screwing. I took this with me, but I was going to put some screws in and probably a bit long, but something like that to screw that plate. There'd be something there that's probably pretty good to screw that rally plate on the roller, and that never happened. So it's going back next time, I guess, that box. That was one of the things that we took with us. How many people come to the event? Dan, do you have that figure? I'm guessing that they sort of made a profit, but Dan may have the figure of that. Dan doesn't have that figure. What sort of preparation goes into this live stream if you haven't got that? Probably much the same as mine. William Henry, good morning. I don't know. How many were there last year? 7,000 or 9,000 or something? More than that, probably. It was a pretty good event. Give you some sort of idea of the scope of it. If you check out my drone video when it finally uploads, it gives you some sort of idea how big it was. Pants are good. You had a steak. Right. The room service girl's probably very thankful too. Just saying. So that's what happened. It was a good weekend. It really was. The weather wasn't terrible, to be honest. I don't think it rained very much during the day at all. Sunday was a beautiful day, pack up day. Saturday wasn't terrible. Friday night it was a bit damp, but not unpleasant. 8,000 to 9,000 probably last year. Portables at the event were Dan's 4 horsepower Marshall, looking very tidy. A 6 horsepower Ruston Proctor, I think, running the sawmill, and cutting quite a lot of timber for the weekend. Was a very much a as found sort of portable. I think it's restored to be how it came out of the shed, and it looked really good, really did. Is another portable? Nope, that was it. And Stephen King's Ruston Proctor Colonial. Ruston Proctor? Yeah, I think Ruston Proctor. 5 horsepower Ruston Proctor Colonial, which is shaping up into being a very, very pretty engine, actually. Looks good. Run faultlessly all weekend and no problems with it, which there were some teething issues last year, but this year he had everything on top and he was running it ran pretty nice. It's a single cylinder Ruston Proctor with the American style tender on it, and tank underneath, and the steps up the back. It's interesting engine. And the Fowler roller, which ran pretty faultlessly all weekend as well. I'd like to have had it a lot tidier, but we did what we did, we got there. So that was a pretty good weekend. Really good. Didn't get a lot done. I got 2 of these cast, and I think I showed these in briefly last week live stream. 2 blower valve taps. This one's just a rough casting that needs either some clean up or throw them back. I think throw them back because this rim isn't the same on both sides. It's not cleaned up nicely in the middle, so not that fussed about that one. But the one that went on it was very nice. I just painted it black around here and put that on. So we have a working blower valve, which seems very effective. It's a good thing. Sorted that. We didn't fire up the headlamps. I've got tail lamps still sitting here on the bench because, reasons. But didn't fire them up at all. Because we didn't run it all in the dark, really, to be honest. Had plenty else to do. Saturday night was a pretty big cook-up. Everyone sort of got together and we set up the generator and the lights again, and Dan did a couple of camp ovens, and a crew from out west did a couple of camp ovens, and it was really, really nice. We had a good night. Everyone liked their rally plates. They've all been distributed. They look good. I think there's a picture on my Facebook and my Instagram. That's about it. I've got one here that's not an ideal one, so I'm going to get a couple more cast, I think, and get a nice one for myself. But big thanks to Glenray Timberfest for funding those. That's awesome. Is everyone still there? Don't know. Feels like there's 1,000 things to do. Like there really is. We've got to go and put another wall up. We picked up some new members of the Shannondale Steam Sawmill Co. I think some fairly keen new scapegoats, volunteers or slaves or whatever you want to call them. That's pretty awesome. and I hope they've got engines too, and they're local, so it'd be really awesome to catch up with them. What else? This week coming up, is everyone there? You've all got sick of me 16 minutes in. I'm only 16 minutes in, and I've covered the whole weekend. That's it. That's all you're getting. There's a Bill Baggins knife there on the bench. It's been used to sharpen pencils. Look at that. There's a a 1200 by 800, I think, 880 by 1200, 900 by 1200, something like that. Sheet of Dibond composite panel. It's sitting there, if anyone's interested. Not getting any replies from anyone, so maybe no one's listening to this or watching. It says we've got 14 people there and 6 likes, which is awesome. This is a composite panel, it's 3mm. Picked this up yesterday. It's aluminium on the outside and plastic in the middle. So I've got a panel to do for a panel swap with the Hand Painted Signs Australia group on Facebook. They do a panel swap every year, and I put my hand up and said, yeah, I'm going to be part of that. And then last minute panic sets in, and I realise that I'm really not very good at this stuff. So I've got a sheet of board there. I think the theme is a hotel motel sign from any period before 1970. That's someone's messaging me, so maybe I'm not getting through. YouTube's being recorded. People are commenting, but I'm not seeing them. I've not seen anything since last year. It was 8,000 to 9,000. Ah, yeah, we go. Go change the live chat. I don't know why that changed back. I've got Journeyman Randy. James P, g'day. Dan says you're here. Yeah, righto. We're here, and he shouted that time. William's not hearing any sound, which is a bit strange. I think that might be your end. Bill says evening snoozes. Need to be better organised. Yes, absolutely need to be better organised. I had every intention after Glen Ray of being that person who is better organised with live stream. It's not me. By the way, there's a Bill knife. Thank you, Bill. It's very nice. I've got a parcel to send back to you very shortly. Getting on to that now. Anyway, that's got to be that's probably going to be a hotel motel sign. Probably vertical, like either down, probably not down that way, that much of the sheet. You can see there. Probably the other way around. With hotel or motel on it and sort of sculpted ends and a line around it. And then probably another panel that fits on the bottom, either an oval or something like that says something about the hotel. I don't know. I should be more organised and should have more idea what I'm actually doing with that, but I'm not. So there we go. That's, watch this space. I had every intention of putting it on this panel, but I can't think of anything that's going to fit here. So I've got to misread the brief the first time, and I got this panel out and painted it up. I haven't put anything away since the weekend. I've got that painted up, but less ideal than it should be. I'm happy to do something fancy with the live stream. The trouble is, that I don't have room to set up a screen here. Like, seriously, I'm here in this room. Probably if I had a shelf here somewhere, we could set up a computer and do something. Maybe. But being able to move the camera around is good too. And it's not only that, I'm just lazy. So that's all. So, you know. Anyway, it's supposed to be... it's supposed to mention my hometown, and it's supposed to be a motel or hotel sign. Now, all the hotel signs I've seen that predate me or from my childhood all say such and such motor inn on in a like an old English script on a red background that lights up and it's square. It's very boring. So that's not what's going to happen. I did see a very nice... I don't know if I can really got time or energy to do something pictorial. But James P had some ideas that would work on this panel. I like this panel because this is going to be the cheapest one to post, because this weighs nothing compared to this, compared to Dibond or plywood or something. So he had an idea that could do like Launceston Airport Hotel or something like that, with a biplane and a couple of 1920s fashionable people and a car and a road and probably some sky, something like that, in a sort of a 1920s French hotel poster, something like that. Don't know if that's really what I want to do, but I'm going to think about it. But as of Sunday, when I'm off again, I've got to do some stuff about this, so I've got to get onto this, have a bit of a think about it, but I've got to start. So this is probably one option. This is another option. We'd do something like a city hotel sign that goes on the side of a building with hotel vertical, which is not a very nice thing to put on anything, and a nice stripe around it, and probably even like a boomerang shaped arrow on it or something like that, which gives it more of an American flavour. But that gives it a 50s, 60s sort of look. I'd like something a little bit earlier than that, which is my normal style, but I've got no idea. Hopefully by next week we'll have some panels cut and some actual paint on things. Otherwise we've got a panic situation, because we've got to the end of the month, and in the middle of all that there's a couple of other jobs I really need to do as well. So there we go. James had some good ideas, but I'm not sure if I'm energetic enough to do them. I'm going to have a look. Probably I can grab some artwork off the net and basically stick it all together and trace around it and paint it. It's probably as good as anything. But I need to work out wording and stuff as well. Really want to make a cylinder lap for this, and a piston outer piston lap. That's where I'm at with this engine. Also would very much like to cut a couple of signboard panels to go on here and paint them and stick them on this and get it back out of the way. That's another job. If I've got nothing to do, I can machine these two covers and get them down to Dan. So that's another job we could do. Have that done out of the way. So things on this bench that need doing ASAP. One, we need to make some more progress on these oil caps that we're working on. There's Stauffer's patent London #4 oil caps. This is a pretty bad casting. We're still working on that. We need to fix these, which are oil caps for Dan's Roby engine. They basically just need some machining and cleaning up. That's easy. What else is here that needs doing? We need to paint this boxcar with Shenandoah Steam Sawmill Company for promotional uses. That needs to be done as a promotional vehicle for the steam sawmill. We need to get that running. That's something I'd like to do, because I'm not going to say this on live stream, and you didn't hear it here, but I may or may not have picked up another set of castings recently, so you don't want to know about that. What else is here? Need to put some of these tools away too, by the way. That's probably a 2-minute, like half-hour job sometime that would make a huge difference. Need to make some burners for these that are 12 volt or whatever, easily rechargeable, with some sort of a meter on them to say how much charge is left in them, and a light that works with a reflector and gives a decent light in here without being too hot, so that these can actually be used for road lights, because they're a bit dull with kerosene. That's another job. While we're at it, there's this steam whistle job that Mark keeps harping on about. So he doesn't really, but I'm interested in this chime whistle job. So that's another job that we could do something with this year. A friend gave me these. Oh, there's another thing that needs doing. We need to cast 2 of these, which are the brackets for the boiler banding on the Fowler. A friend gave me these, and I haven't even looked at these really. I should give them a rub on a bit of emery tape. But there's some good stuff here. And big thanks to Stevie if she's watching, because this is a bit of a score, really. This is a square die that says that it's three-quarter gas. These are all going to fall over if I take them all out at one end. There's another one here that says it's inch gas. They might still cut, they might not. So there's a couple of dies. There's a couple of 2-inch button dies there that are worth their weight in gold if they actually cut. That's quarter gas. And that one's probably quarter BSP, it says. They're the same, probably not. There's a .38 gas button die. Or a die nut. And a quarter gas die nut. And another quarter gas die nut. And some taps. This one here, which has been well loved, which may or may not cut. Is 1-inch BSP. These here are 5/8/26, so 5/8 brass. A set of those. Very interesting to have a set of those. I need a 3D printed box for them and put them away. It's gas or bicycle thread. That's handy. This one's 3/4 BSP tap, which looks like it's seen better days, but it might be all right. And that one there must be, I think, a 5/8 BSP. It might be 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch BSP. 1/2 inch 14 gas. So that's a handy box of stuff. I haven't really, it's the first time I've really looked at it. I picked it up on my way down the other weekend when I called in, and I haven't really looked much, but there's probably some useful stuff in there. So that's the only new tools I've really bought. Fab at work. Fab gave me a paintbrush in exchange for some paint that he was painting his bike with. I don't know how that project's going. I guess I'll find out about it tomorrow. Might throw a coat of clear in case he's got to that stage he wants to put a coat of clear on it. I'll lend him a tin of that. But he did give me a pretty decent boar's head or boar's hair or natural fibre anyway. 38mm cutter, which is nice. We should find an old first aid box for the shed. Yes, we absolutely should. One will turn up if anyone knows. There's a lot of things that we should find that we're looking for. So if anyone knows where any of it is, hit us up. But preferably nice and local, because it seems that most of the stuff we get seems to get heavier as we go. That's a bit of an issue. Don't know where we're going with that. So before next weekend, I'm going to have this workshop pretty clean, right? I'm going to do a lot of painting on that sign, poster, whatever. It's sort of warming to the poster idea. But we'll see how we go with that. What else? Now, I've promised a couple of people brass plates for Glenray, which is sort of irrelevant to anything else, but I'm going to cast another batch of them, and I will let those people know because that will happen. I've also what else? No, I don't know where that was going. Don't know where that's going. I've got several painting jobs lined up, some of which actually pay. So I've got to make some sort of progress on those. This one's not a paying job. This is a promotional job. It's a panel swap that the face of the hand painted sign group, Australian hand painted sign group, or the letterheads group here in Australia actually organises on an annual thing, and this is the first one I've ever done, so I'm under a bit of pressure on that. That's a promotional job, right? That should be a tax deduction, and that's a promotional vehicle for Shenandoah Steam Shed. I don't know if that's how that works, but definitely promotional vehicle. If I get there, I might do a couple more for them. I've got the dud one at the moment. I've got one that's a little bit less than standard. I've got no idea where it is, to be honest. It must be in the car. But I'm going to do probably 5 more for stuff because people have said. So anyway, not sure when. In amongst all those castings, we need to do a bit more with these. I need to do these too, right? And I'm doing a set of 3D prints for a head for a Rickman. Anyone knows what a Rickman motorbike engine is? Yeah, it's a replica head for that. It's a fairly complicated casting that's been about 18 months in production, and I'm actually 3D printing a decent mould or a decent pattern to do it. And I think Dallas up at the Trades Guild is actually going to make like a shell, like a water glass or sodium silicate shell, water glass sand, to actually cast the detail into them. Rather him than me, because it looks like a bit of a dog of a job, actually, because they've been going on and on. So they're jobs. I've got an internal mural to do because it's a promotional job, portfolio job, and I probably won't get paid for that, but they're going to cover expenses, I think. I'm a bit excited about that, so it should be a good job. Another mural job that I'm sort of working on getting that should be really good too, that's external and it should be fun. I'd also like at some point to get the shed finished at Shannondale so we can put an advertising ghost mural on that, which would be very nice too. Need these jobs in my portfolio before I start looking for serious mural work. This is just part of the trouble, and can't really charge for my time unless someone approaches me with a justifiable job. So there's stuff that I need to do. What's it like having a usable 3D printer? It's very good, actually. I'm a little bit chuffed about that. My 3D printer's working pretty hard because Joe's doing stuff with his school kids, making gearboxes to operate like running Venetian blinds up and down or something like that at the school, and that's an engineering project for high school kids. It sounds like a really awesome job because he's an awesome teacher, I think. But he's doing a lot of that at home, so the printer's getting a pretty hard life. It's got a new roll of filament on it last night. I think I've used about half of it, or yesterday morning, and I think we've used about half of it so far. So, Prussia for the win. Now, another job that I'd like to do at some point is get the piston out of the Bay of Peacock pump engine. So that's something else that needs doing at some point. I don't know when. I've got a plate made up with a thread hole in it and a piece of thread to push it out, or to put some pressure on it before we push it out. I honestly, that's as far as I got. I haven't actually welded the nut onto the plate, but that's something we could do with very little time at some point. That's one job. The other job's the portable. Dan, we really got to do something about getting that the rest of the portable to your place. That's with some urgency. We'll talk about that at some point, but that needs to be done too. That's the second Marshall portable, which is a crazy big job that we should never have taken on or even looked at, but we did. Anyway, in amongst of all this, I've got to make some nuts for that engine and for the roller. So there's quite a lot of half-inch and 5/8 nuts that need to be made up to the old BS 109 standard. So that's another thing. Anyway, that's probably about it, really. Yeah, peacocks annoy me when I'm drunk too. Emus and peacocks, probably emus. Fight with an emu when I'm on the rum, but that will probably never happen on account of I'm never ever likely to get drunk again, and never ever really likely to actually have an emu there when I'm doing it. But anyway, What else? What else? What other stuff's happening? I had a crap load of work at odd, crappy jobs at work today, so I worked through them and also had a fairly busy day otherwise. So that's what I did today. Come home, washed the car on Tuesday. Went out Tuesday morning and washed the car because the van was well and truly overdue for a wash. It was pretty dirty. Also needs a service at some point, so I'm going to have to do something about that. Picked up the sheet of Dibond, which we might not use for this job. I don't know yet. We do pass an emu when we're moving the roller in and out to the road and back, and the emu feels a bit threatened by the presence and the noise the roller makes. Just looking at those two little brass vases there in the corner. That's another project that I have sort of had intended to do before COVID, and that knocked that one on the head. Can't say too much about it, but it might actually be a YouTube video. We'll see. It's probably a safe time again to actually look at that and make it work. Anyway, that's what's happening. I've got to fix projects on the roller that need to be done. All we're doing is talking about stuff that needs to be done. We're not actually making any progress. So discount this if you like. But projects on the roller, 1. Right? Put a finger down if. Lubrication systems need sorting out. A mechanical lubricator needs working out and some new pipe work. So it needs a clean up service, new pipe work. Also, number 2, if we're going there, is the big end lube and some of the splash lube and the grease caps all need work. So there's quite a lot of lubrication work to be done. Big end oilers need new tops on them at least, probably complete new oilers. So that's something else. You need to drill and tap and thread the bottom of the smoke box to put a plug in it so that we can hose it out without it filling up with water. That's another project or another fairly quick job that needs doing. There's quite a lot of painting needs doing. And I need to make canvas for 3 sides of the roller or 4 sides of the roller. I'd like to make proper sheets to go around the roller. Or get them made with lace-up corners so that we've actually got, or zip-up corners, so we've actually got some decent canvas that we can put over it when it's stored outside and keep the heat in while it's at rallies and things. So that's another job. Water pump. We're back on this finger again. Water pump needs packing. And one of the valves is not picking up for some reason. So that really needs an overhaul. Not sure what's involved in that. Probably resetting the valves and new packing in the piston. I don't know if the two are related, but it's not priming as well as it could and it's leaking a lot of water. So that's a job. Right, we need to go to plan B with the drain cocks too. The cylinder drains, when we put them back together, we put nuts and double spring washers on them, or spring wash, 2-turn spring washers. What do they call them? There's a name for those spring washers. Any more sort of information on this, not forthcoming. If anyone knows what those double turn spring washers are called off the top of their heads, brownie points for that, but I can't remember. So what we did was put brass nuts and spring washers and just center punch the threads to stop them coming off. Sort of good. Not factory, but every single time we take it out, we lose a nut and a spring washer. That's not productive. So what I'm going to do is make the bits and make thin nuts and put lock nuts on them so that they don't come undone and there's no spring washers in them or no spring. So that you just tighten them up till they fit and adjust them at that, and they're going to be less leaky and they're going to be less trouble. So that's plan B. That's what we're going to do. It's drain cocks. Very much like to. There's a hole in the tender that needs fixing. Fixing the hole in the tender really is a temporary fix because it really needs some work with the water level gauge and things like that in the tender needs some work. And if we're going to do all that, then probably it needs a coat of paint. And there is some rust in the floor pan, I think, which I'm trying not to think about. But a wire brush clean-up and a coat of paint on that will sort of stop that happening any further. So it's another job. The toolbox lids come off. That's another job that needs fixing. Whether we get a proper cast toolbox for it instead of this welded up tin one. I believe someone was casting some, and if you've got one left, that's another job that I'd really like to do. Yeah, that's the minor jobs, I think. That's the minor jobs. Anyway, they're things that all need to be done to the roller, and it's a bit of a job. There's always something, but they're the things that a little bit pressing. I'm sure there's others as well that I haven't thought about. Send James Pear sticker. That's something else I've got to do. I've got to send a box to Chirpy. It's another job. Need to do some posting. So we need to get that sorted. I did momentarily go on a sticker hosting or sticker selling website and upload my safety posters. Some steps on the side would be very good, yes. Sorry about the scraper. I managed to not actually fall through one at the moment this weekend, which is really good. I still have scars on my ankle, but yes, it's not good. So we need to sort that out and be a bit careful with it, but I would like steps on it, and that's something that needs to be done. And also the oil tray on the back head, we'd like that casting as well, but they're all expensive castings. Anyway, there's another $5,000 I could spend on the roller without anything major. Not even, it's just time, most of it. The lubricator could do with a clean up and get cleaned up, sorted out. There's some castings required for the big end oilers. Another job that I'd really like to do, which is a home job, is fix these lamps. So that's another thing that we'd like to do. It never stops. The list keeps on going. There's very little happening with the launch, right? Here we go. There's a whole lot of nothing happening over there. The 2 or 3 jobs that I want to do on it require some cash. Not even some time. We need to sit down. I'd like to make a decent toolbox for the side here and get rid of those. That's another job. They never stop. Honestly, they never stop. So I'm going to work on the things that are sort of a priority at the moment. that I've already mentioned and not really go into any others. I've got to find a new pair of work boots. Now, this is another thing. A bit annoyed about this. I just noticed that these are actually here. One of them's fine. But let's have a look at some. This is about as good as you're going to get as far as ankle shots go. Right, this is a Yakka work boot. I think they're about $130 to buy these. And these haven't seen a lot of work, right? They haven't worn out. They're nice because they zip up, right? So you don't have to lace them up. The laces keep coming undone though, so you've got to put double knots in them. Anyway, this one's split all the way around. It's a bit crap. These are only 12 months old, and they haven't done a lot of work. I mean, I wear them regularly. I wear them every weekend. But this isn't fixable, right? This is the thing. Having fairly close ties with the shoe cobbling business, this isn't fixable. That's just ripped through there. That foam's like completely ripped and let go. I don't know of a way of fixing that. Probably like a tyre, you could staple it or run some tyre wire around it, but it's pretty ugly. And at some point it's going to give you an injury. So I'm not going to buy a new set of these, new pair of these, because they're just crap, right? Not impressed. Very unimpressed about them. So there is a place in Byron Bay that makes a product called Roo Boots. If you want to Google Roo Boots, ROOBOOT. Roo Boots are made in Byron Bay, which is about an hour and a half, 2 hours south of here. Roo Boots are kangaroo. They're barefoot boots, which I don't like as much as I could, but they do have some decent sole options on them that are not quite as bare feet. I don't really want work boots with crepe rubber soles. I've got work shoes with crepe rubber soles, and they last well, but I don't think they'd stand up to oil and grease and stuff. If they had something with like a Vibram sole or something like that, well, maybe I would do that. And when I look at these and getting 12 months out of these for $130, right? Not good. When I look at my work shoes, which are actually duck feet, they have crepe rubber soles. They're not really suitable for work. They probably are in a carpenter shop, but not suitable for oil and stuff. They're about $380 and I get 5 years out of them. So that seems to be a more sensible way to spend money. As far as buying work boots, the Australian-made Roo boots look really good. If we could get Danish duck feet, like most work shoes are duck feet from Denmark, if they come with something in a more durable oil-resistant sole rather than natural rubber, I'd be keen on them, but can't find them. Flood damage and water damage isn't much fun, James. You have that on your own. Anyway, don't know what's happening with the work boot situation, but it's something I need to fix. And it's something that's probably going to cost me $400 to get decent ones if I can find something I can actually wear. So that's where I'm at. Could buy Blunnies, but I really don't like slip-on elastic side boots. I'm not a big fan, really. I'd rather lace-ups. So we'll see how we go. And these do get wet and pretty miserable pretty quick, and that's probably why they've let go. But they also look really ugly. They're really wide. They look kind of crazy big. Not a big fan of these. Won't be buying another pair. Don't like them. Anyway, Blunnies are probably the answer. To be honest, a pair of Baxters are probably the best as far as work boots, but even RMs or Baxters, the oil-resistant and composite soles things, they don't last as well as they could, and they can't really be fixed. So I'm not that impressed with them. Looking into it, we will keep you posted on that. Maybe sometime that'll happen. There we go. Army GP boots last. You soak them in white vinegar and it hardens your feet up, and it doesn't matter whether they fit or not then. Anyway, working on that. At least if you buy duck feet, I know they fit straight out of the box. And if I buy Roo boots, I know they fit because they're made to fit. So I'm looking into that. But Google and see what you think, everyone. Be interested to find out. Anyway, that's probably about it. That's what's happened in my life this week. It's been a bit crazy. I come home with bigger lists of things to do, and I feel like I've actually on the weekend I felt like I'd actually made some progress, but looking at it now and the list of things, I feel like I've got nowhere. But you've got to keep that in view that the roller was starting to look pretty nice and it's looking all right. But I'm about done. Not much else to do. Thanks for everyone. Not much else to talk about. Thanks heaps everyone for tuning in. I really appreciate catching up with you. Joe has a new car, by the way. It's a bit exciting. More about that at some point. You're feeling overwhelmed, beer. I try not to feel overwhelmed and I try not to drink. So that's where we're at. Anyway, really appreciate you guys. I'm probably going to be on Discord at some point tonight for a while. I've still got some drawing and stuff to do before I go to bed, and I've still got, probably should find something to eat. Anyway, thanks everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Sorry there's not much to see or do. There's only a lot of talk. If Mark's Shed Talk's still there, there was something I wanted to talk about. I'm probably almost too scared to even broach this subject, but we'll talk to you about it. I think you know what it is. Dan's doing rail-related study. Yep. Good on you. Full marks. I'm probably doing some sketches and stuff, and I'll probably be sitting on the computer. But anyway, be kind to each other. Don't let the bed bugs bite or whatever else happens. And we'll catch you next week. And there should be, check out, wait for a video because I'm going to promise that, I think, because I think it's going to be a good Glenray Timberfest video at some point. Righto, I'm out. We'll catch you.